Hey, welcome to our special interview today. We're thrilled to have our CEO, Daniel Harkavy, join us as we dive into a topic that I think perfectly aligns with our name here, Building Champions. With the Olympics happening right now, there's just no better time to talk about what does it really mean to be a champion, not just in sports, but also in leadership and in business. So today we're going to explore the mindset of a champion, the routines that make a champion. So Daniel, it's great to be with you, my friend, and it's good to be talking with you again.
Dan, great to be with you. And what a fun topic for us to get to
Yeah,
jump into.
I know it's going to be great. So I have to start with just asking you, do you have a favorite Olympic sport or maybe
Yeah,
a favorite athlete in the Olympics?
finally. Finally.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Yeah, I am very, very pleased to see how the Olympians that are competing in the sport of surfing are getting to spend their nights in beautiful cruise ships and in great
Exactly.
places in Tahiti. It's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, surfing's, doing it. So yeah, that spot of Chopu or Tiopu, as they
Yes.
say, over in Tahiti is mind blowing, and it's been very fun to watch that.
It is. And that there was that epic picture that was taken that I'm sure everybody's seen. Yes,
Yeah.
that Brazilian guy has got his finger
Gabriel
in the air.
Medina is
Yes.
just a beast. And
Yes.
yeah, he knew he had that from the time he dropped in. He dropped in, he came out of that. For those that don't understand surfing, that wave is all about getting barreled, getting
Yes.
tubed, as they used to say. So it's a very critical wave that can snap you into pieces. It breaks on a very shallow reef, but you drop in, and the whole objective is to get covered up for as long as you can, as deep as you can, and then come out. And the picture of this with him standing up on a
Yes.
cloud, it looks like, with his board next to him, is amazing. But what's more epic is even right before that, when he comes out of the barrel, he's holding up all fingers and he's like, a 10, that was a 10. I mean, he was just mentally in the zone. So he's a
Yes.
beast.
He is. Good stuff, man. Well, that he represents what the Olympics are all about, right? It's the world's best athletes showcasing their just incredible discipline, their commitment. So how does the name Building Champions resonate with the spirit of the Olympics? Why'd you name it Building Champions?
Yeah. So this is a question that not a lot of people know the answer to. Yeah, so it's great to unpack it during the Olympics. So if you look up the word champion and you ask people, hey, define a champion, most people will say a champion is a winner.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that is the most common answer. And yes, that is what we want to build. We want to build winning leaders, no doubt about it. And when we say building, the building side has to do with we're all a work in process, right?
Mhm.
So this process of building a champion is what a coach does. A coach should help somebody to go from where
Yes.
they're at to a better place.
Yes.
That's answer one. Then there's answer two, and that is a champion is one who will advocate for a cause. They
Mhm.
will champion for a movement or for an initiative, some sort of a shift or change.
Yeah.
And I love that definition of a champion because the leaders we get to work with are championing the cause of creating workplaces that are very beneficial and healthy for their teammates, not
Yes.
just in business, but in life. And when
Mhm.
you think about the amount of time most of us invest into our careers, you look back on a 30-year career, a 40-year career, somebody has invested the majority of their waking hours doing that. And leaders have an opportunity, and I would say a responsibility, to create cultures that champion a good overall outcome as a result of working in that company.
Yes.
So we want to work with those leaders. And Dan,
Yeah.
you know the story. I was actually on a call just an hour ago, and somebody was asking me a similar question. And they were asking me for our strategy on the different business verticals that we're in, because as you know, and many who are probably watching this, we used to be in mortgage banking 30 years ago, and we still are.
Yes.
We still have wonderful clients in that space, and we'll never leave there. We'll continue to do everything we can to add value. But over the last 30 years, we've been in all sorts of businesses, and we
Yes.
don't go after a business vertical. We go after a leader. We go
Yes.
after leaders who are champions, and they are working diligently to create working cultures that get exceptional results,
Yep.
but they send their people home in really good ways because of their connection to that organization.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I loved hearing you walk us through that with the name and both those meanings, building the champions, what a coach does, but then championing that a purpose or something bigger than themselves, a cause within an organization. So love it, man. All right,
Yeah.
so Olympic athletes are some of the most mentally tough people that I've ever read about in terms of what they do day in and day out. So from your perspective, what are some of those key mindset traits that leaders need to have in order to become champions in whatever industry or role that they play?
Yeah. You think about being an Olympian. An Olympian will train 4 years for an event that could be over in 4 minutes,
Yes.
right? They could
Uh-huh.
be
Yep.
in or out in a 4 minute period
Yeah.
of time, and they've invested every waking hour into that event. So,
Yeah.
man, the stakes are high.
Yeah. And it could be a tenth of a second that
Yeah.
separates them from something, right?
Yeah.
Winning.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
the eye wouldn't even catch it,
Right.
right? So it's what a high stakes endeavor.
Mhm.
All right. So how does that mindset of that young warrior correlate with the mindset of a high performing leader? Well, I think that there are some very real similarities. And the first would be that those individuals, when they're training day in and day out, they have a very clear vision for an outcome.
Yeah.
They see gold. That's
Yep.
what they see.
Mhm.
Well, the best leaders are training for a meaningful outcome. And when you think about a gold medal is not just some financial prize. Although if you saw the news today, they showed what the different countries pay their athletes, and the
Yes.
United States is like $38,000
Something.
for a
Yes.
gold, and I think like I don't know if it was Singapore or somewhere, it was like three
Yes.
quarters of $1 million. So
Yes.
it
I
pays to be
know.
an athlete in another country. Our athletes aren't doing it for the money.
Right.
They're doing it because there is a pride in representing our country. So
Yeah.
they're doing it for a really big cause.
Yeah.
Okay, leaders, we're leading businesses that are about something that has to do with a bigger purpose, a bigger vision.
Yeah.
It's not just quarter by quarter earnings or a certain dollar amount or a strategic exit. It's about doing something that is meaningful and creating something that is meaningful. So these Olympians, their eyes are focused on the gold. Leaders, their eyes are focused on a better tomorrow. They've got a clear and compelling vision that causes them to want to take a risk and struggle, and it's clear and compelling, and it causes them to build the training plan to get there.
Yes.
I'd say that's one element. um, I would say that the best of leaders, champion leaders, they just have the ability to do the uncomfortable. They will do the right thing whether they feel like it or not.
Yes.
Guarantee you those Olympic athletes, they wake up so many days not wanting to put in the miles or put in, the
Yes.
laps or get into the ring or whatever it may be. It's just
Mhm.
grueling. Well, great leaders, they will do the things required, whether they feel like it or not. They're just so disciplined, and that mental toughness is there,
Yes.
which means that they have really good routines that
Yes.
enable them to be in that peak state. So they develop a routine of being an Olympian. This is what Olympians do.
Yes. Yeah. The routines are so critical. I was reading, there's an article about the average Olympic morning routine. And it's not just a morning routine, it's like a morning routine, an afternoon routine, a mid-afternoon routine, an evening routine. Like
Mm.
they're dialed in and with routines throughout the day to make sure that they're performing at that peak level. So how have you seen routines impact leaders, right? And why is it crucial for us as business leaders to have routines?
I think one thing that we need to be aware of is that these routines of the Olympians, they have built into their routine rest.
Yes.
Okay. So this is where I'm gonna flip the script a little, and I'm gonna say, hey, warning, warning, alert, alert, because one thing I'm keenly aware of, especially over the last 4 years, is as many have transitioned from a big chunk of their life being face to face
Yeah.
in a room to a
Uh-huh.
big chunk of their days now being face to face on Zoom,
Yep.
we have less time for thinking. and
Yes.
we have less time to just step back in between meetings, breathe, regroup, prepare, recap, move to the next.
Yes.
So that's been compromised greatly for many, many leaders. So when we think about routines,
Yeah.
it's the coach in me. I'm going to say, hey, folks, really look at your schedules today, because as I've had the privilege of working with many leaders, as have our entire team of coaches, we would all agree that thinking time, that rest time, that reflection time, that has been compromised. And what that does is that limits your ability to innovate. It also erodes your ability to fight in times of difficulty.
Yes.
Apathy can kick in because you're
Yeah.
just fatigued and you
Yes.
no longer see options.
Yes.
So that is a really important one, Dan. Routines, health routines, health. What am I talking about? Nutrition, sleep,
Yep.
fitness, stretching,
Yep.
spiritual routines, meditation, prayer, digesting good stuff in your mind and in your heart, relational routines, social routines,
Yes.
connection and life-giving relationships, being present, putting your phone away. There's all sorts of those routines that enable us to lead ourselves well so that we can lead others well.
Yes.
But I think the one that is probably a bit at risk for many is that true on time, as we call it at Building Champions,
Yep.
on and off time, both of those.
Yeah. You're my leader, right? I report to you, and you actually held me accountable in this area this year. You were asking me, where is your thinking time? I want to see it on your time block. I want to know that you're doing it. And you held me accountable to it. And I've loved it. I've loved that I've added that to my weekly time block, just having dedicated time to think, to rest, like you said, to recap the day or the week. What did I learn? What do I want to keep doing, start doing, stop doing, just all of those things. It's so powerful to just kind of help you keep going as a leader and to see things that you might miss because you're moving so fast. So love it. All right, man. At Building Champions, we say, and because we believe better humans make better leaders. So, how does this conviction integrate with the idea of being a champion, both in your personal life as well as your professional life?
Well, I think this goes back to when I started the company. What I had observed in the industry that I came from was I had observed a whole bunch of hard charging men and women
Mhm.
who had devoted their lives to these careers, and they were making big money. So it was normal. I was around Ferraris, Porsches, Mercedes,
Mm.
tennis courts and homes, boats, vacation homes, the whole deal. A really nice quality of life. But the backstory to that quality of life was there was a lot of broken relationship and there was a lot of hurt and there was some abuse, some like physical, addiction issues and
Sure.
and really kind of self-medicating to deal with just the constant adrenaline rush and then the price that one pays when there really is no end in sight. You can always make more money. So I saw that at a young age in my 20s. And I just, as a young married with three young kids, I didn't want that. What I wanted to do was I wanted to help professionals to succeed at work and in life.
Yeah.
I wanted our clients to understand that you can actually reach champion levels as a professional, as a leader, and have like these champion marriages and have great champion level fitness and have wonderful relationships with your kids. And it was really important to me. I felt like that is going to be our contribution. We are not going to just help somebody reach a financial objective at the expense of other areas of their life
Yes.
that in the long run, if they neglect them, they're going to wind up at the address of regret. So I never wanted Building Champions to help people to accomplish success in one account at the expense of the other accounts. And we call accounts in life the key areas of one's life. I
Yes.
never wanted to see somebody just excel in their professional account, their career account, and then lose in the other accounts that bring so much joy and meaning to life.
Love
So
it.
better
Love it.
humans make for better leaders, and we want the human experience to improve as a result of working with us.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm a testament to that. I was a client, as you know, for 5 years, and
Yeah.
it was that conviction that helped me to say, not that coaching company, not that training company, this one, Building Champions, because I wanted that holistic approach. And I'm so thankful now that I get to coach and to lead the company that has that conviction at the center of everything that we do. So thank you for that. And
Yeah,
thank you
you're
for
welcome.
thank you for your insight today. We really appreciate it.
Well, it's a fun conversation. It all just, for me now, 3 decades into this thing, it just makes sense. It's like it's 1 + 1 = 2. It's undeniable. It just makes sense. And
Yes,
you look at better humans make for better leaders. People don't want to follow crazy leaders that have train wreck lives or
yeah,
experiencing all sorts of self-inflicted trauma because they neglect those areas of their life. They just don't want to follow them. It's like, it's neat for you, but I want to get off this train.
that's right.
So, Dan, my hope is that in the decades ahead, let's just fast forward 3 decades. I turned 60 and next week you've got a birthday coming up as well. So happy birthday. But, I hope that, hey, God willing, if I'm here at 90, I get to look at all the good work you're doing and all the people that you're developing and the work that they're doing. And we're creating even more opportunities for leaders to experience
Absolutely.
better human existence as well as increased leadership impact in ways that make a positive and lasting difference.
Love it, man. Love it. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to know more about everything that Daniel's talked about, how we work with organizations, how we work with teams, how we work with individual leaders like you, check out our website, buildingchampions.com. Follow us on social media. We have some great free resources on our website. The things that Daniel mentioned, we have a morning routine guide. We have a vision guide for you to cast that vision that he talked about. We have a life planning guide for you to cast the vision for your life. We have great resources there. They're all free for you. And we'd love to start connecting with you. So, Daniel, thanks again. Great to see you. And everyone, we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Dan.